Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your pain and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through. Right, this one is another one of my general talking about stuff video, and basically I'm bouncing off Matt Wall's video that he's just put up today. Matt Wall's a channel you should definitely check out, especially if you're a writer. He does these writing tips on his video, and he's got a little writing community that is really cool the way he builds that up and encourages people and helps them out with their writing. But the big message he made today was don't be boring. So his big writing tip was don't be boring. And have a watch, because it's really cool the way he says it and is absolutely right. And what I wanted to say as a response to that was that writing is a performance, in the sense of when he's saying that if you're telling a story to someone just through your speech, you're just relating something that happened the night before or that morning to a friend, and you're boring them, it's because your performance skills need fine-tuning, and you can probably improve them if you think about what you're doing and be aware that you're performing. And he's trying to say, put that into your writing, which is a fantastic point. It's really important. And I wanted to say that actually that can be applied to all life. Life is a performance, every aspect of life. Even, I'll break it down, because the even bit is further down the line. Basically, when you're chatting to your friends and family, you're performing, because if you sound half asleep or you're not putting much energy into it, they're not going to listen to you. You're not going to get that spark in the conversation. So both people in a conversation are performing because they are willing the conversation on, and there's an energy in it. There's definitely a performance energy. So if you're in your job, if you're working with the public, you're definitely performing. If you're working with the public, and let's face it, you might have a situation where you'd rather shout at them or throttle them, and you're not. You're being a performer by being kind of professional and not doing anything like that, not throttling your customers. If you're doing that, if you're speaking on the phone, you're performing. So you might be speaking to a client or a customer or whatever, then you're performing. And even if you've got an office job, you never speak to anybody face to face, you're even performing when you're writing an email, because there are certain things you would write that you wouldn't, certain things you wouldn't write, certain things you do write to make sure that it comes across the correct way. But I do think texting is, just words on the page can be misconstrued, which is why obviously, like, professional standards of how you write an email in a job situation is quite specific. But the point is, it's performance. Everything is a performance. And I do think that it's worth thinking about that and being self-aware about that. And you might get more out of life, I think, if you are happy, willing to acknowledge that and work on it. If it's not working out, if you'd rather have more friends, or you'd rather have a different kind of career, or you'd rather have a different relationship with certain people, certain members of the family, then it could be that you could think about that performance element of your interaction with them, and it could be that can be improved by, tweaking the way that you are with them. And that performance element runs through these really quite important, significant relationships we have in our lives. So for us as content creators on YouTube, this is definitely a performance thing. And some people do say that they struggle when they first start doing it, because I'm not used to talking to the public and seeing themselves on screen, hearing their voice. I personally don't like my speaking voice. I never have. I'm a singer as well, and I had to get used to that as well. But it's like people sometimes say, why do you watch your own videos? And it's like, well, how am I going to learn to improve unless I watch my videos? So I watch videos of the band, and I try and record the band performing as much as I can, because I think it's really good to see what's happening on stage. And because I'm at the front, in the middle, singing, also I don't always see what's happening around me. So it's quite, I see some really cool things sometimes on videos that I'd missed during the performance, what the other guys are doing. I can hear it, but sometimes they're doing something, physically doing something. It's not in the music, it's just the way they're acting on stage, which is great. So sometimes it's good to see that in the videos. But it's always good to watch yourself on video. Like this, obviously. In real life, in general life, you don't go around videoing yourself, although I suppose some people do that now. But in general, I don't think there's anything wrong, though, in I think there's everything right in acknowledging the fact that life is a performance, and if you can fine-tune performance skills for certain situations where maybe something's not quite right, or you want to improve a relationship, or you want to improve your performance in your job, things like that, it's just something I don't think people think about, the fact that you are performing all the time. And, you think about the amount of times you've gone to work half asleep, or you're still waking up 2 hours into your job, into your day. You're performing, you're willing yourself to try and make sure that you look alert, and, sometimes you can't do it if you're that tired, and people are going, "You all right?" And it's like, well, yeah, I didn't have a lot of sleep, or whatever, or there's something on your mind, or something's upset you, and you've got to do, you've got to push yourself even more to perform properly. But that's what it is. And to be honest, that's why I think the music course that I teach is a life skill, because if it helps people perform better, I think that does filter out into other parts of their life. But I just think everyone can benefit from thinking that all life is a performance. What do you think? Comment below on what you think, because, debatable like everything. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.
Paint me a picture